What's up, you guys? Today is Thursday, the 21st of September. Current time is 13:39 or 1:39 p.m. We are currently heading eastbound on US 22 in Ohio. Just got past the town of Cadiz, C-A-D-I-Z, a short time ago. Tell you what, it's definitely an interesting, somewhat scenic route, but it's definitely had its share of interesting stuff. The usual phantom collision alerts for one, but some other stuff too, like mowers in the middle of the road and some other stuff that will be showing up on my Clips channel later on, perhaps. I don't know, I got so much in that section there between I-77 and Piedmont or Cadiz area that I might just do like high speed, like an intermix between high speed and low speed, normal speed footage of everything that went on between where I started, which was the Pilot truck stop in Caldwell, Ohio, off of I-77. I don't know, I'd say about 15 miles or so south of I-70. I do need to change my view here to satellite soon. Kind of give you a little perspective on here, what the route options were when I'm able to. But I had concerns about going this particular way already because of the curves and all that, and there was terrain as well in between I-77 and I would say mostly between there and perhaps, I don't know, not quite all the way to Piedmont. I actually considered taking I-70 across over to the Wheeling, West Virginia area, or Martin's Ferry, I think that's what you call it, and taking Ohio 7 up from there, but now that is a little bit more miles, and the curves along the Ohio River there on Ohio 7 are definitely more truck friendly. However, when I was needing to make my decision, there were traffic delays. There were traffic delays on 7. Not too far south of, forget that street where you make the turn on, that town where you make the turn on to Highway 22 West. It looked like a pretty good delay right there of some sort, and then some more not so bad delays right there in that town, Steubenville, or I don't know what you pronounce that town there. Whatever that town is, that's where Ohio 7 and US 22 meet up. So I had reservations about the traffic situation over there, so I decided I better not go that way. I did ask about route options in our JCT Facebook group, and another driver did actually recommend I go stay on northbound 77 until you get to US 36, then take US 36 and US 250 over to 22. That would have got me around some of the the lower speed curvy kind of stuff. I can see where he's talking about that too. It adds miles, but now I don't know what 36 and 250 look like overall, but looking on the map, it didn't look like the curves were as bad as 22. So I can definitely see why he would have suggested that. In hindsight, on my way back in that direction, I will be deadheading in that direction after I'm empty, which we'll talk about later on. I might try that out. I don't know. Might try either his suggestion or perhaps take Highway 7 down to Wheeling or something and take 70 across. I'll figure it out, but alright, so those are the route options. A little more miles going either of the other two routes, but they definitely both look a little more truck friendly. Let's see, I'm trying to minimize touching the screen and all on here. while I'm driving, maybe when I'm docked in, but I do need to switch over to satellite now, so. Come on. There we go, okay. Alright, so we're on our way to the Walmart distribution center in Wintersville. Now, Wintersville's not too far west of Steubenville. Currently a dozen miles away right at the moment. My onboard system's projecting an arrival of 13:58, which is 14 minutes from now. Alright, so in between now and then, I guess, what we can talk about is what I kind of talked about in the video that I tried to do. Oh, nice, up to 70 from here. Alright. I picked this load up at Florida's Natural Growers facility in Lake Wales, Florida. The last video you probably saw was me delivering in not in Lake Wales, but in Plant City at the Saputo facility there. I did actually record footage of me picking up in Lake Wales. However, I had so much cannon fodder for clip footage that I just got stuck on just get all the clip footage and forgot all about the fact that I had pickup vlog footage in between some of that footage. And I accidentally deleted out all of that footage, so never got the pickup video for you guys. But yeah, that's basically what we're doing is a load of orange juice from Florida's Natural coming into the Walmart DC over here, which I guess services the Pittsburgh region. Because Wintersville it's not a great distance away from Pittsburgh. I don't know exactly how many miles, but yeah, if you look on the map, it's not a huge distance away from Pittsburgh. That would be the largest city, I would say, probably in the that's regionally close to. Alright, so yeah, more likely I would say it's probably going to Pittsburgh regional Walmart stores. Maybe Sam's Clubs and Walmart neighborhood markets too, I don't know. I don't know anything about this DC, I've never been to it before. It's a Walmart, it's probably nothing, probably very typical, it's all I know. That's all I'm going to assume, so. Alright, so how about we talk about what I tried to talk about in the Lake Wales pickup video that never happened. So I was on my way down to Plant City talking to a buddy of mine, and there were a few cases of trucks on the right shoulder. One of them was southbound and started to get on, started to get rolling right in front of me. Now, he wasn't moving over onto the end of the lane yet, but he was definitely trying to get moving from a stop. And I went ahead and moved over for him, because I was able to, but, and then he moved over once he got confirmation that it was going to be safe to do so. Meanwhile, in the same general area, there were a couple of northbound trucks that were on the right shoulder that were actually broke down. They had their triangles out and everything. One of them had a blown steer tire. The steer tire itself was completely gone, and it was just a rim sitting on the asphalt. The other one, I'm not sure what it was broke down for, but they had their triangles out. I just know they were pulling a Swift trailer. I don't even remember if it was an actual Swift tractor or a contractor or lease op or what, but it didn't matter. I was talking to my friend, and I was kind of jokingly telling him about how, wow, that guy even has his triangles not only out, but placed properly, too. This was the guy with the Swift trailer, by the way. And my friend ended up commenting, yeah, you gotta help. You think I'm gonna, walk down, put my triangles that far, like 500 feet out or whatever. I'm like, they don't have to be 500 feet out. So I started asking them, well, do you know what the distance is that they are supposed to be placed? Because we have 3 triangles that we're always supposed to keep. And he goes, and he said the correct distances, 10, 100, and 200 feet away from the trailer. Well, it depends on the situation too. If you're on the interstate or divided road like I am right here, if I stop on the right shoulder, my triangles all go behind my trailer. Nothing needs to go in front of the truck. You always put triangles in according to what direction the traffic approaching you is coming from. If you're on a 2-lane road like I had happen on US 190 a while back, that's actually here on my channel too, where a truck got his, almost rolled over. It was completely blocking the eastbound lane that I was in, and was just starting to get into the westbound lane, but the westbound lane was open. That was the case. I went ahead and stayed behind him, put my triangles back behind my trailer, and had him put his triangles out in front of his tractor that warned approaching westbound traffic. Also, if you're going, if you have a hill, like a blind hill or curve or something that's going to restrict your visibility to the approaching traffic, you need to account for that and set it up even further away as well. Now, my friend had mentioned, like, well, who do you know who has a tape measure, like a 200-foot long tape measure, or whatever, who can measure out where it's supposed to be? And I go, nobody. Maybe there are some drivers out there who have those kind of things, but it's really not necessary to do that to set them up right. Rule of thumb here you can use, guys, if you're not really sure, and this you're required by by FMCSA regs to start putting them out within 10 minutes of when you stop, and they have to be out within 30 minutes after you stop. Now, generally, don't stop on the right shoulder at all unless you have a legit reason to be there. As in, if you're putting your triangles out, or if you're going to be putting triangles out, go ahead and stop. If you don't need to put triangles out, you probably don't need to be stopping there. And if that's the case, don't do it. Now, you can actually get ticketed, potentially. Most cops are not going to worry about that, but you can. And they have a legit reason to stop to ticket you for that too. Also, and the reason why I have I know a couple of good examples of that. On one of my live stream videos from a while back, I was heading northbound on California Highway 99, in between Visalia and Fresno. And I passed by an incident scene there, where there was a red car on the right shoulder, and turned out it was a fatality. What happened was the red car, I guess they had a tire go flat or something, like a tire blowout or some kind of issue with a tire, some kind of concern or whatever. So the driver stopped on the right shoulder. They got out to check it out. Well, when they got while they were outside the car, which had to be between, while they were in between the driver's side of their car and the travel lane, a UPS semi came up, bam, hit the guy and killed him. I passed by, and he was already covered by a blanket, his body was, but his body was sitting about, I don't know, 10, 15 feet in front of his car, on the right shoulder, with the blanket covering it. That kind of stuff can happen when you're on the right shoulder. If it's not that kind of thing, it could be drunk drivers, could be distracted drivers texting and driving, could be someone losing control, could be someone having a medical event that ends up veering into you or drifting into you. They could crash into you. If you're stopped on the right shoulder and without a good valid reason, you're going to be held accountable to some extent. You're not going to be the at-fault driver, perhaps, and not the primary at-fault driver, but you will be held at least financially liable to some degree for being where you weren't supposed to be. Now, if you have your triangles out, a lawyer can also argue, well, you had your triangles out, but you didn't have them properly placed. All right. Yeah, we need this exit right here. So it does look like a regular diamond interchange. And if you don't have them properly placed, if someone hits you, then the lawyers can argue, hey, you didn't have your triangles properly placed. So my client who crashed into you and died or got severely injured or whatever shouldn't have to pay for all the damage because you didn't properly enough warn that you were there. That is why you should have your triangles properly placed. Now the rule of thumb for placing your triangles, if you don't have a tape measure, would be start on the back of your trailer, take 4 steps away from the back of it. That would be about 10 feet. Just take 4 regular steps. You don't have to take long steps. Yeah, basically every step is roughly 2.5 feet. What they're saying there. Okay, here's the little truck stop right here. All right, so, and I'm running short on time here, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep talking here. All right, 4 steps. Drop your first triangle. From your first triangle, walk another 36 steps. That'll put you right at about 40 feet away, 40 steps away from the back of the trailer. That'll be your 100-foot point. Drop your second triangle there. Then from that second triangle, walk another 40 steps behind it, and then drop your last triangle. They should all be on the driver's side of the trailer. And again, if you don't have them, let's see, it is on the right side, and I do have two through lanes here, it looks like, so we'll go ahead and get moved over. Oh, for God's sake, come on. Anyway, yeah, if you have them properly placed, and you're there for a legit reason, there's a much better chance you're not going to be held as liable as you would if you don't have them properly placed, or if you don't have them out at all. In fact, some carriers will actually terminate you immediately if you're stopped on the right shoulder at all, whether or not you get crashed into. And then if you do get crashed into, you're definitely done. So do yourself and everybody else a favor. Don't stop on the right shoulder. Another reason to not do it, good example, is somebody I used to work with at March Air Reserve Base. He was working up at Travis Air Force Base and lived in Simi Valley, which is down in the LA County or Ventura County area, whatever. And he was heading down I-5 back to his home from Travis Air Force Base one night. He stopped on the right shoulder of Interstate 5 to take a piss. Alright, we got our entrance to the Walmart DC coming up pretty soon here. Looks like it'll be on the near side. Anyway, yeah, he stopped on the shoulder to take a piss, and when he was done, started rolling again, and he came back out and pulled right out right in front of another driver. Not a truck, but another four-wheeler, if I'm not mistaken, and they slammed into the back of him at high impact speed. That person did not die, but the person I worked with was not wearing a seatbelt, and he ended up getting ejected through the windshield of his truck, and ended up dying. If you're in a truck, if you stop on the right shoulder like that, someone crashes into the back of you, even another semi, you're going to kill the other person. Don't do it. And if you do end up doing that kind of thing, and someone does crash into you and die, you are going to end up in jail for vehicular manslaughter. So don't be stupid, all right? Don't stop on that right shoulder if you don't need to stop there. All right, here we are. We have a 14:30 appointment time. It is right at when my onboard system said that I was expecting to be here. 13:58. Imagine that. All right, we'll get checked in here, and then we'll resume this when we're on the way to the doctor. Alright guys, we are checked in and ready to dock in. He says there is a drop trailer or something in the door right now. Looking over there, I can't really tell that there is one in it. We'll be knocking into door 304, which should be very, very close to the receiving office. It looks like it might be vacant already. I can't tell for sure if 304 is the door I'm looking at, but no, it looks like it might be 303. Okay, so yeah, there's a drop trailer in 304. Told me just wait off to the side for it to get pulled, and then dock into there. 304 will be that trailer that is straight in front of us. We got two drop trailers and right there in front of us. The one that's on the left side there is the one that's in our door. So we'll hang out and wait for it. And I don't know, might show you guys the route options on the over to here while we're sitting and waiting. Shouldn't take long. I've already talked about what the routes are. Now just a matter of showing you where they are, how they look and all that, and why the extra miles to do them might be worth it. We'll just kind of hang out here for a second. Wait for that trailer to get removed. Come on, you gonna let me change my status or not? Not sitting here burning on yard move time if I don't need to. Alright guys, so let me switch back over to the regular map view for you guys, so kind of get a perspective on where we were. Now, I started my shift down here in Caldwell, Ohio. Yeah, probably about a 15 or so mile or whatever it is drive, 20-ish, south of I-70. Now, I ended up not wanting to go to Wheeling or Zanesville, because even though there's family history in both those cities that I could have went to visit. Now, option A was the way I took, which is pick up US 22 right up here, only a few miles north of I-70, and then take that up through these towns here that you see there. Option B would have been take I-70 over to the east, come over here to Wheeling and Martins Ferry area, and then get on Ohio 7 right there. Now, so we can kind of walk our way up this, and you'll see that what curves are there are much more gentle, but here's the concern I had. There are problems right there. I don't know what that is. I don't know if there's road work going on there or something else. Probably a nice scenic route. And also over here in Steubenville, there were a couple of spots that I didn't really care for with the traffic situation, so. But I guess looking at it in hindsight, could also take Highway 2 up on the West Virginia side. But even that, you got to go through Wellsburg and Beach Bottom, Windsor Heights. Either way, yeah, it doesn't look like it's too big a deal. Don't know what those are like for trucks, but looks like a little bit more of a pain to get onto those streets from I-70. So I don't know. The right turn pocket. The other way, which is what a JCT driver suggested. Let me get it rotated over. Alright, so that would be to come up over here to 36. And so you have a few towns here on 36 to go through. A few curves here that are going to slow you down by Denison, but otherwise it doesn't look all that bad. I mean, they're alright. So right here by Tappan Lake might slow down a little bit there, I'm sure, but most of where curves are there don't look like they're that bad until you're already coming up on 22 right here on the west end of Cadiz. And you saw me start this video right over here on the east side of Cadiz, probably within view of what you see right there on the map. So And yeah, you saw it was really nice and easy going through that area. So more miles going through there, but it's quicker. Or, well, I don't know if it's quicker, but I'm gonna find out. I'll figure out what time it was that I hit I-70 and I-77 interchange earlier, and then I'll probably go that way back out of here just so I can see how much time difference it takes between the two different routes. It'd be interesting, at least, so I can, you know, it'd be educational for me for next time I come out here. Might be useful for another driver as well. Since I'll already be long done with that whole thing, maybe just at the end of this video, I'll just kind of put in like a little caption there talking about which route ultimately ended up being the quicker route, or if there's any difference, even in spite of the miles, whatever. So we'll figure that out. All right, otherwise, we'll just hang out here and wait for the trailer to get pulled. Alright guys, we're ready to go here. Shad driver just pulled the trailer out of the door. It's 2:32 now. Alright, let's wait on this guy here walking across from the office. Alright, so we're just going to do a straight 180 here. Should be pretty close to where I need to be to get the Tams aligned straight up. We'll see. I might be a little bit off to the blind side though. We'll see how it goes though. Actually, it lined up pretty nicely there. Nicer than I thought. I thought I was going to be off to the further off to the right than it actually was. It's a little bit off to the right, but not much. Pretty well, I would say. Gently as I can. I can tell by the shadow I'm getting really close. There we go. Nice and soft. Alright, so we're going to get disconnected here, pull forward. I'm going to let them know that I'm in the door now because I've already checked in at the office. I'm going to have to either call them or walk in. So I'll go ahead and walk in and let them know since I need to use the restroom anyway. Alright, we'll have some more for you on the way out of here. Alright guys, we are empty now. It is barely, what's that, 15:51 local time. I don't know if this guy's waiting for me to leave my door so he can dock into it, or if he's going to a nearby door or whatever he's doing, but I was only in the door for about an hour and a half before, actually not even an hour and a half before they called me and said my bills are ready, so no, he's just doing paperwork over there. Alright, I've already sent my empty call, so we're just going to go ahead and get rolling. The route I took into here, starting from right where I-70 and I-77 meet up, I reviewed my footage while I was in the door, and I went through there right at 0941 Pacific time, or 1241 Eastern time. And I arrived here at 10:58 Pacific time, or 13:58 local time. So it took me right at an hour and 17 to get here taking that route. I'm going to go ahead and take that other route across that I talked about. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the west on 22 and then try taking, what's that, 250 and US 250 and US 36 across from there. I want to compare how many minutes it takes to get to 70 and 77 again via that route versus the route that I did take. I know it's more miles, I just don't know how many more miles. I've not really checked. And yeah, but it looks like it's probably a more truck-friendly way to go in spite of the extra miles. So yeah, I really want to know how much different the time is on that. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to get checked out of here, get my doors shut and all that, and we'll be out of here. Alright guys, we're ready to roll now. Just shy of 4 p.m. local time. Let me pull up my map thing for you. I wasn't really planning on using it, but I figured I'd let you see what's involved in getting to my next shipper. Alright, so there we go. We're on our way to the JBS beef plant in Plainwell, Michigan next. So, what's that? Up by Kalamazoo, if I remember right. Up above, just north of Kalamazoo, if I remember correctly. It's been a bit since I've been there. But as you see there, got the route plan, work your way up to Akron and then take I-76 and I-80/90 up there. Oh, I can't even see the... Why do they do that? Why do they put the traffic lights right there where I can't see them? I had to like go lean all forward just to see where exactly the light is even at. I couldn't see one bit of it because I'm not short. I sit with my chair all the way back and usually up a little bit on the high side, and the light is way up above where I can't even see it. I have to literally look like this just so I can see it. Alright, there's a truck wash right here. I don't know how far down. I'm not going to go that far down the road to find it though. Not a GPS route, no through trucks. Okay. Well, I mean, you got the arrow there for truck wash, but I didn't research how far down the road that truck wash is. There's my load assignment for my reload. Okay, that one does not pick up until noon tomorrow, and I'm only 360 miles away from the shipper now. I will be there tonight. I don't think I need to run that far though. I definitely don't want to run that far. What I'll probably end up doing is just maybe get up on I-76 somewhere or I-90-ish and maybe hit one of the travel plazas over there, service plazas over there, and then run the final miles in tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. I gotta also review how many miles it is to get to the receiver on that load, how many shifts I have to do it in, and all that kind of stuff. I've not really paid any attention to that. I have a fresh 70, so I know that I can do it on time. I literally just did a 34-hour reset right here. So, alright. Well, at 12:56 Pacific time, we'll say, is when I departed Walmart. So keep that in mind, and then I'll see how long it takes. We'll go ahead and let you know right here that a caption, whatever, which route was actually the route between I-70/77 and here. So check that out. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one in Plainwell, Michigan. All right. Have a great day. 360-mile trip. All right, we'll see you guys there.